Hi friends, my name is Haley Comet and welcome to my cosmic corner of the internet where we discuss all things astrology and today self-care, particularly diving into your moon sign if you have the pleasure, misfortune, not quite sure of having a Virgo moon. I'm allowed to make fun of it because I have the placement as well. So how to self-soothe and take care of your sometimes neurotic, nervous, restless Virgo moon. It's not an easy equation, although there should be a really coziness there. I mean, an earth moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus, which is a fellow earth sign as well as Virgo. So you would think an earthy moon would have at least some of that nice quality. And I do think it does lend itself to being very realistic, very grounded, very helpful energy. However, it is a very difficult energy by the same token. So today we'll be talking about how to take care of your Virgo moon, how to self-soothe that kind of inner nervousness that you are subject to. So first thing we need to know about Virgo is their mind is hardwired to focus on details. So both Virgo and Gemini share Mercury as a ruler, where Gemini hopes to connect, put people together, link ideas together. Virgo operates to separate, to understand, to analyze. So they do best in details, whereas Gemini does best in kind of like understanding how everything works together. Virgo does best in kind of zeroing in, and they're gifted at focusing on details and noticing things. They are perfectionists by nature. So if you need someone to edit your paper, ask a Virgo moon. I mean, if I open a menu, I can find 3 typos before even reading a single menu item. It's like my eyes just are wired to it. So with that, where it does come in handy sometimes, menus, editing your papers, other people's papers, it also has this amazing downside of that kind of lens of always trying to improve and perfect and make it better doesn't really stop once you don't want to, focus or edit. So with, people, you might notice things that are, off about them, or zero in on the things that they aren't doing, the things that you think they should be doing, or the ways that they're messing up their lives, or like having that kind of really zero in on little details of life that aren't really that important, but just drive you up the wall, like, someone leaves things out in a certain way or doesn't tie their cords. And I'm not saying that Virgos are all insanely like neat freak people. That's actually kind of a misnomer in astrology. But it's that there are certain things that really get under their skin and like really, really kind of make them a little bit neurotic, because their mind zeroes in on details and can be like, this has got to be controlled and perfected, because their mind is operated to control, perfect, and improve. And it doesn't stop when we necessarily want it to. So using that gift that you have for editing, for refining, for improving in very beneficial ways, and having grace with yourself and with other people for being imperfect. You signed up to be a Virgo moon who is seeking perfection in a world that is very imperfect, around human beings who are also very imperfect. And you are also imperfect. And that might be, I think personally as a Virgo moon, that's the most frustrating thing at all, is when there's like flaws in myself or in my work. It just really breaks me down to my core and gets me really down on myself, because Virgos have this standard for perfection. So finding kind of avenues that you can channel that editing, improving, refining behavior into. Maybe check with people before offering criticism or offering feedback. It is a gift that you're able to zero in on, ways they could improve their life, but people don't enjoy micromanaging. And oftentimes Virgo moon, you're just trying to fix other people so you can distract from your own messes that you have to clean up and the own things that are in your life. So checking in with your loved ones before kind of diving in and trying to fix their world and make them better people. And also using your kind of editing eye for projects in which details are really, really supported. Editing, writing, things like that. Graphic design is also really heavily, about details. So having avenues that kind of feed that Virgo-ness, but also making sure that kind of gift that you have doesn't rub people the wrong way. You are really gifted at advice and criticism. Just make sure that it's warranted. Another way to really take care of your Virgo moon, and I can honestly say I do not know where I would be had I not found this, is mind-body connection. And that can look different to different people. For me personally, I found yoga. It changed my life. Please get into a yoga class or do it in your room. I teach it now. It grounds me, it supports me, it anchors me, it gets me out of my head. I owe so much of the human being I am to having a consistent yoga practice, but that's my thing. There's Pilates, there's like, the word is escaping me, but it's like a really mindful Tai Chi. Yeah. There's so many mind-body practices. Maybe it's even having regular meditation practice. You as a Virgo moon are very tied to the body, Earth moon, and very kind of attuned to the structures of the body and to planet Earth as well. So having a way to kind of ground down within your body and get out of your anxious, neurotic mind that is always scanning for possible things to improve upon and possible errors. So having something mindful that allows you to breathe, to slow down so you can like stop your mind from racing is super, super essential, as well as it just grounds you down within your physical body. So maybe, if you have like a Virgo moon and let's say it's like conjunct Mars, maybe something like a lot more physically exhausting like kickboxing or something that just drains you of all energy so you can turn off your mind and stop thinking about work or stop thinking about what it is that you're stressed about. It depends on the person, but I would definitely say get moving, and I would prefer that it's a mind-body practice because just the act of breathing can be very soothing for a Virgo moon, as it's kind of a nervous placement for our moon, and exercise is truly, in my life at least, it's truly like a cure-all for my every emotion, my every experience. It just anchors and grounds me, and honestly, I one time got a palm reading in a fair, and he was saying when he was looking at my palm, this was fascinating, could have been an intuitive message too, but I really resonated with it, was the course of your life drastically changed when you found yoga because you learned how to process and deal with your emotions and control your anxiety. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, that is so true. Like in high school, I really, really was having a hard time with, racing thoughts and feeling very anxious all the time and not being able to sleep. And once I found yoga, it feels like there's like two separate lives for me, like before yoga and after. But anyways, this is not a yoga video, but I'm just saying that's the impact that for me as a Virgo moon has really been one of the biggest things to quell my internal world is exercise. So get moving. I would prefer it to be mindful or do something like meditation, anything to calm the mind down. Another way to kind of soothe that urge to perfect and improve is live a very minimalistic lifestyle. Things, clutter, they all take away from your energy. And as a Virgo moon, you'll be looking at things like that's not straight, like that's on the ground, like those cords aren't wrapped, whatever it is. When you have less stimuli coming in, it's not as easy to get all flustered about the things that aren't exactly as they would be. Clutter and stuff, it just gives me more to focus on and just more to try to improve and perfect. So for me, it's just been easier to streamline my belongings so there's not so much kind of competing for my attention, particularly like home decor, office decor. Be more minimalistic, go through clutter regularly, clean out your clothes. Like if anything is not serving, just get it away from your space, because the more streamlined and clean your external world, the more soothed your internal world will be. With work, so Virgo is associated with service, the act of working. With Virgo moon, there's a tendency to perhaps be a workaholic, or lose oneself in work, or not know when work starts and self begins. So create really hard boundaries around work. I do not check email when I am at home. I do not, reply back to my boss when she texts me at 10 p.m. or, whatever those rules look like to you, because many Virgo moons are so intrinsically connected to this idea of being good enough and doing a good job that they can go beyond what they really should be doing, like what would really be expected of them, in this endless quest of perfection from themselves. And when they make mistakes, that is heartbreaking, soul shattering. So kind of allowing yourself to create some distance between you and the work that you do. If you make a mistake, it does not mean you are a bad person. You just made a mistake. And it happens. I also would recommend my Virgo moons. We are associated with habits and routines. So ensure that you have habits and routines that really ground and support you. I like to think of my day as a reflection of my values, my priorities, my goals within a single day. So rather than, wanting to be a writer, yet not writing, those are like incongruent. If I have this goal to be a writer, you should be able to pick a day and be able to see writing show up. Or whatever your priorities are. Let's say your priorities are family, painting, health, productivity. Allow your day to be a reflection of that, to make time consistently to talk on the phone to family members, make time consistently to work out, however that feels good to you, make time consistently to paint. These little decisions, these little kind of redistributions of your time can dictate whether in 10 years you have an awesome relationship with your family and you're in good health and you're a known painter. So with Virgo moons, there is a strong connection to the habits and routines, which is why a lot of people will be like, oh, Virgos are neat freaks, and that's not the case. You will find many Virgos who are a mess or have substance abuse problems. As much as you'll find green juice, yoga going Virgos. Virgo is an energy that is trying to understand what it means to maintain self and like a life, and what it means to have a routine. So looking at your routine and your habits and making sure they're supporting you. Like, are you consistently drinking, Jack Daniels every night at 7 p.m. or are you consistently taking 30 minutes to journal and meditate at 7 p.m. every day? And this can drastically impact where your mindset is. So not to go, all YouTube morning routine on you and be like, oh yeah, get up and then 30 minutes of meditation and 20 minutes of journaling. I mean, like, really, who has time for that? Especially not Virgo moons. We do not have time for that. I mean, maybe you do. I don't have time 3 hours in the morning, but maybe people do. But alas, not saying you have to go that extreme, but just having certain habits that will ground you and anchor you and give you a sense of stability. Virgo moons have a high degree of need for control, and oftentimes planning and kind of knowing what to expect soothes a lot of kind of inherent nervousness. They kind of like to know what the day will have. So set up structure for yourself. Like if you're a freelancer, if you're self-employed, just ensure you have a strong structure for yourself, a strong routine. So, it can kind of ease your mind into like spiraling into like, what are we doing? Or where is this going? In childhood, because of course our moon sign describes the mothering that we received, the nurturing that we received, either from a maternal figure, from our actual mom, or how we experienced our mom. Virgo moons could have experienced their moms as being a little bit critical or perfectionistic. And it's not necessarily how their mother was, it just is how you could have experienced the mothering that you got with someone who was very critical of you. So in adulthood, you replicate this by trying to be perfect and trying to control everything and trying to control everyone. So just something to heal within yourself. Have some mantras. It is okay to be imperfect. It is okay to make mistakes. I do not need to be in control to have a happy, healthy existence. I would also say, self-care tip, another one. Virgo is also associated with health because, again, stemming from habits, you know, eating carrots every day at 5 p.m. or eating a Twinkie every day at 5 p.m., it's gonna add up. And Virgo is about how the little things add up to big things. Big things meaning like our journey in life and our where we end up. But so I'm not saying you need to only drink green juice, but definitely you, as a Virgo moon, you might be a little bit more picky when it comes to food, or a little bit more neurotic about the foods that you eat. So learn what works for you. That's the thing, like learn what exercise works for you and learn what food works for you. You chose a lifetime that you want to learn about health, but that doesn't mean like just jumping on to whatever diet trend or what you think other people do. Like find your own thing. Like keto might not be for you, going to the gym might not be for you, but there's so many different avenues of things that you could do that are for you. I'm just saying, as a Virgo moon, finding a habit and a routine and a healthy lifestyle that really, really soothes you. Virgos, that is it today. I just want to say I love you all. I feel like I really harped a lot on the more negative parts of this placement, but it's really such a beautiful placement. I mean, you are so helpful. You are truly giving. Anyone would be so lucky to hire you because you work until the job is done, and that is the truth. And you are very grounded. You tend to have your stuff together. You're the one other people go to. So Virgo moons, I adore you. Friends, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Next week will be Libra moon, just working through the zodiac wheel, getting to all these moon signs. I'd love to hear Virgo moons. First of all, let's just commiserate together on being Virgo moons. I mean, not commiserate, it's a beautiful placement. I just get frustrated sometimes. But talk to me in the comments. How do you soothe your Virgo moon? I'm personally still trying to figure it out. Until we meet again, stay cosmic.